Turn on the video. No, turn on the video. There we go. Okay.
Okay, well, very good. So I would like to start by introducing ourselves so you know who's who. I am Barry Walsh. I'm the chair of this. I've been chair for I don't know how long. They call it a sentence, not a term. And but enjoy making things work in the village to have it come out right. And I would let Tim introduce himself next.
Tim Nolan, Village Canton Code Enforcement Officer.
Getting more and more experienced all the time. Yeah, and then I'll have you guys after it, but Jane,
I'm Jonathan Zimmerman. I'm just a civilian.
but member of the committee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm Micah Murphy, also a member of the committee.
Morgan Elliott, also a member of the committee.
Jenny Reed, you know me, but for here, I keep track of kind of what's going on, take meeting minutes and organize everything.
She's the things hinge at that office. Okay, now you folks.
Well, Ralph Isabella.
And I'm Susan Sears, and our project is the Riverside Project.
Perfect. Okay, very good. So we do have one issue on our agenda, which is to approve of the minutes from the last meeting,
Yeah.
which none of us remember, but as I remember, it's up to you to decide if they must have been right or not.
Yeah, I think we had one amendment, which is to add a, something about a bike rack.
I think that was
I think
it.
it was it. I think we looked at the minutes before and it was all good.
There were some corrections made after the fact that were agreed upon.
Oh, okay, so, yeah.
Let me bring up that information really quick. Just
It is very
confirm
important.
that
That's a
it
big
was
difference.
all.
Yep.
That we all, or that you all agree upon everything verbally. It was all right. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right one right here. Here are the minutes. Corrected file. Right here. Full draft. So, this was from February 24th. And it was involving 15 Governor Street. Does this sound correct?
Yep, right on.
And it was approving the site plan review, which was initially approved with the only addition being that I'm trying to find the wording. An addition was added. Okay, I apologize. A motion was made by Barry Walsh to approve the site plan as presented. The motion was seconded by Jonathan Zimmerman. All in favor, motion carried. Then, following the meeting, the approval of the site plan was clarified as intending to include not only the addition of the bike rack that comes later, but as intending to include the conditions of the county planning board as presented on their notice of action dated 2/12/26. However, the village planning board notes that it considers these conditions to be substantially met through the proposed site plan. The village planning board also added one condition regarding addition of a bike rack to the site, which was duly voted unanimously approved via email and conveyed to the applicant. See attached emails for details. Does that all sound accurate?
And I would add the applicant accepted that condition as in subsequent discussions or whatever. That's right, so. We had talked about it during the meeting and said, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. We wouldn't care. And then we didn't add it in because I forgot to leave it on. So there it was, major effort, major issue.
So motion.
Yeah, motion to accept the meeting minutes from last time.
I'll second the motion.
Only two of us can vote. Very good. Okay, very good. All right, so here we have this proposal. And so you can bring us up to speed as to what you are featuring, doing, and what it's gonna be like, as if we haven't talked. I have met with them ahead of time just to do like the preliminaries to see that they weren't going down the wrong path. Things look so good. that there was no point in having just this be a conceptual review and then say, well, there's nothing to change. So that's why it got upgraded to a better, higher level here, so we could approve if it works out. I'm not saying it should, but just that should be. So then, we'd like to know what the project is and your ideas and all that.
Do we wanna go up to the very beginning?
So, well, we know that you wanna put in a gym. So what kind of gym is this gonna be? What sort of addition to the community and all that?
So I would say the location, and maybe you know this, is at where, Riverside Drive, where the former Napa station is and Pike's service station. So we bought that 2 years ago. Received a grant from New York Forward. And we were going to rehab, am I working?
Very
We were
aptly
going
said, yeah,
to rehab the building, but the engineers in March finally looked at it and the building's not in good condition. So what we would like to do is demo that building and then shift it to the right where the current parking lot is, but bring it more toward the street.
Yeah, the engineers, when they came up with their plan, there would have been almost nothing left of the building to save. And so we would have been restoring
Pretty much
quite a
nothing.
bit.
Yeah.
And when we looked at it, it made much more sense to put in a nice new building for a similar cost. And then while we're at it, because there was an issue of being that close to the water, and that's not really a stable area, we thought moving it as far up to the street as possible, it would benefit the area more also. But of course, we need the variance since we're not rehabbing the building anymore, we're actually gonna.
Mhm.
And then the new parking lot would be where the current old Napa is, and part of Pike's probably would run into where the new building goes. I think
I think it's on the third page.
this is the current look, I think.
You guys wanna look at the?
And so that's what the new look will be. So that's, well, so this is currently Napa and Pike's. We would demo it, that becomes parking, and then the new building is shifted over to the right
Basically 40 by 100.
foot building. And so it will be it will be a fitness center. With a mezzanine inside. I don't know if you want me to get all detailed of that.
Sure.
Of,
Yeah.
cardio equipment, isn't it good? Cardio equipment in this mezzanine, that's about probably 1,500 square feet. And then down below would be the weights and, machines.
Yeah.
We have 3 bathrooms, 1 ADA compliant, 1 that's shower, toilet, sink, 1 standard bathroom, and then 1 just toilet, sink. And I have placed them with Chat GPT on this, left-hand side. And, I'm sorry, that's over here, sorry.
Townhouses is very.
Yeah,
Right.
are they allowed? The entrance is in the center of the building. We'll have some egress.
Say, five votes, yeah.
Yep, and it's, we talked to a couple, different contractors that. Of course, be a lot of glass along the back, you know, facing the river, and, the main emphasis will be on making the building not just,
Not a
functional,
concrete.
but appealing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
we want something that, you know, is, I mean, well, what's there right now is obviously terrible, but we don't wanna do this unless it's something we can put in that's really be an asset. And we felt that the gym itself, would traffic people, you know, 'cause you can't go to the internet. So it's something that would, I think, increase, commerce also.
Yep.
And we've talked with a lot of people, and we have, well, a lot of people, because it's gonna be a 24/7, basically you have a phone app and you put your application, you know, on your phone, and you can get access 24/7. And a lot of people like the nurses, troopers, PDs, we've had a lot of people, so we're not even too concerned about keeping a membership to be enough to keep us sustainable at all.
So one thing we would need, obviously, we have to cut into a curb here to create a parking lot. This would require new sidewalk in front of it. I know right now it's part sidewalk, part, paving, of course, that all gets pulled up. We put in, a barrier so people don't go over the edge. We'd rather not have bollards. We're thinking boulder. We think that's more, appealing.
Yeah.
We think it'd be nice, you come around the corner, and so even if you're sitting at that stoplight, look over there, and that building is just no longer there. Just a view of that river, which is a beautiful view. The inside, in the mezzanine, you'll be facing the back, so that you're looking at the water, not at the street, but there will be windows on the street side, lower and upper. This would be mostly green space back here. We'll have a shed to store. We don't wanna. What's the bin? Dumpster. I don't like a dumpster, so we'll just use garbage cans inside the shed. We'll store our mowing equipment in the shed,
Yeah, this is.
but it's not permanent, yeah.
Outside.
You don't generate much trash.
No,
Something like that. You're not feeding, there's no food aspect to it.
No.
There's no,
it'd be probably paper towels maybe.
yeah.
What else? So
How about, how many
parking.
machines do you think there will be? In other words, how many people would have something to do? Could you, if you reach 12, now is everything saturated and you would work or would wait? Is there-
If we shoot for the membership, we're looking for somewhere around 300, going by, you'd have the way that it's open throughout the day. Generally, 20 people would be about the max you would see at one time, if that. And there's a full circuit of machines, there's a full range of cardio, and there's a full thing of free weight. So you could, in theory, fit in more people, but generally from all the gyms that we've checked with that, roughly that membership, you're usually looking around 10, 12 people maximum occupying a space at once, because people like to schedule it when it's not so crowded.
There will be peak times, probably after work when people are, or even maybe a little
Early
bit early
morning.
in the morning.
Yes, the 6 o'clock group. And I'm just thinking about how many parking spots you need. I mean, there's a formula based on square footage, but it's also, if there wouldn't be that many people there, because generally you'd have 10 people working out and there's 12 spots, then you would have extra. And you don't have, if maybe one employee, but you don't have a series of employees, because that has to be figured in for parking too.
I think the parking, according to Tim, was 13.
13.
We came up with 12, which is also a handicap parking spot. So I talked to the mayor maybe Thursday of last week, and he's researching if we can utilize parking in front of the building. Right now, there aren't any signs that say there's no parking, so I think we can.
And there are people who park daily.
Yes.
Yeah,
Area
in front of the
right now.
Napa store they
Right.
used to, yeah.
Did they in front of the?
Yeah.
Bobby would park his truck out in the yard and the street rather,
Did he?
for a day of work, yeah. I mean, and it doesn't create a traffic issue. I mean, but we don't have the municipal lots across the way anymore. Didn't we used to have a little one that was part of that gravel lot? And I thought we took part of it, but if not,
I think the village owned that at one point, but it all, when Mike Sergi bought that place, and then Dennis bought he bought 2 parcels that are across the street from his lot. And then Don O'Neill owns the ones
Other
next
piece
to him
there.
and also across the street.
Yeah.
On the water side.
okay. Yeah.
So I don't know how.
Yeah, no, I don't think, it was the village owning it at one point. And I think they did some work in there too.
Yeah, I think
And that
they
was-
worked on the corner.
Yeah, okay, so that doesn't, well, anyway, that's,
Would people be able to park in behind Sergi's and Josie's? That's municipal,
yeah,
right?
that's municipal, right across the street, all municipal,
Mhm.
yes, so that it's not a limit,
I mean,
really.
you'd be, pretty close. It's not like you're walking blocks or.
You're trying to get a workout anyway, so.
Well, exactly what I'm saying, yeah, everybody parks the closest to
Well,
the,
that's
with
soon
the gym.
again, you have to walk a mile already.
That's right.
You wanna do far parking, isn't that the trend?
Mhm.
It should be, right?
You know, like when you get there, you wanna park your car as far as you can, so
Is it you, hon?
get your extra steps in.
Sorry.
Um, so, one other this is a waterfront overlay section of the village, and so one of the features that is required is that a trail be available along the water side. And this comes out okay for that, because the green space can constitute the trail. Now, nobody's gonna start at the accountant's office and work down, this is the next piece, but that's in the overlay, and so this does not prevent that potential access, not that everybody's ever gonna do it, but that was built into the code long ago, so that meets that little piece.
We like to blend in, so like, our whole goal is like not to be adversarial on anything, is like to like say if somebody says they need this, that's what we're
doing, yeah. So, another issue is about the floodplain, but Tim has information from the DEC people about what can be done to make this not even have to have raised mechanicals. Raised mechanicals occur if you're too low in the floodplain, you have to have your electric up to a certain height. But the heights that are on the survey map in this, there's some better news.
Yeah, my DEC contact was confident you were in good shape, but I still think you're probably gonna have to have a floodplain survey to really determine exactly where you are. But you do have some good measurements here, and this is like 338. At like water level, and here, you know, you're at 347 over there, and I think 347 over here.
So that gives you 9 feet of elevation above that high water mark.
One thing he also did say, can we move that? Please?
Yeah.
You recommended that, looking at your finished floor here, at the existing Napa 348, he thought if you graded the whole lot at 348, you would really be good, because you would be like 10 feet above the floodplain or the high water mark.
Yeah, last year, how high did it actually get at that? Do we have any idea how high it got
I
at that
don't.
point?
Is this with Debbie, that Hurricane Debbie, that one?
Yeah, cause the water, I mean, the water level, I remember, I think it was next door, there, whatever that utility box is there.
The mini splits got wet.
Yeah, yeah, they were basically underwater,
Yeah,
so.
I was in the back of the building when that was, I mean, I don't know, I've not been in Canton that long. I don't know if it's ever reached street level. But this was like, where this cement was, it was probably within 4 feet of that. That was
Oh, okay, good, then here.
Where, during Debbie,
when we had the big.
Yeah, I took videos, I wish I still had them.
well, we just like going down around town to look at like what was affected.
Well, I had driven across a bridge and I looked and I was like, holy cow, I've never seen the river that high. So I walked to the back of the building to see where it actually looked like.
Did you come down here?
What's that?
Did you come down here in the parking lot?
I walked in the parking lot and I walked down along the back of the building.
Oh, okay, so back when this was vacant at the time, and you just kind of like.
But he's already owned it.
You already owned it, yeah.
Oh, you already own the
Yeah,
property?
bought it.
We've had a couple of
Oh,
years.
yeah. You had it during Debbie,
We did,
and you got to see
we
like
did.
the right under your flood.
We're kind of hoping it got swept away.
So what?
So you were saying to grade it,
See where this is 348? That's the elevation for finished floor
Mhm.
of Napa.
okay,
Like somebody shot the grade there. And the DEC guy was saying he felt like the smartest thing to do would be just grade the whole lot at 348. And then, of course, when you build up your slab, you're gonna be up a little bit more too. Yeah. So that was his
And
right.
it's pretty close to level anyway,
Yeah. you're
except
never
for
really-
the swales.
See, right here, you're like 347, 348. You're only like a foot.
So it's easy to do.
Yeah.
so we had soil borings done, I have notes, this was around April 15th. And the borings were done at the corner of Pike's building.
Yep.
Is this where it is? I'm upside down maybe, but
Yeah, see, it's Pikes.
Pikes, yeah, so
And
like
there's
around
Napa?
here. Our building, the intent is to go here, but the borings were done and until 6 feet, ATL is saying the soil was, silty and soft. But after 6 feet, very compact.
Yeah.
So.
Probably hitting bedrock almost,
Could be,
judging by what's
yeah.
in the river.
Yeah, I think, very much better over here than there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think you made the right choice. I mean, because, and then you have more, distance from the river.
So that's actually very good news. So you're just adding on to, if necessary, onto a good firm foundation at 6 feet. And the silt probably was filled land at some point anyway, because it's so orderly right in through there that I'm sure somebody dumped boulders. And now it's deep in the corner here, and that's gonna need some building up anyway, you know, where it's fallen in. Most of the current building could fit in there, I think. But don't put it there, you have to. But it could, I mean, it's terrible. What?
In the river?
Well, the boulders have settled down in the back corner there, and it's filled up with trees. Box elders are growing up in the back there, and they're coming out from under the building, and it would be fun to tear that apart. Or something, but it's a mess down there. But I think when that's level and the rest is up just at that extra foot, then it's not gonna take much fill to make it to that level, I don't believe. Talk had been that it would be a crusher run gravel driveway parking lot until you can afford to improve.
Yeah, cause we had researched a little bit on grass pavers and some people said it might not be the best in this climate.
Right, yeah.
Impermeable is, it's rough up here.
Is it freezes and breaks, is that what it does?
It just shifts. I mean, that's the biggest issue to begin with, is it will shift
Yeah.
a lot.
It'll get broken from the plow.
Yeah. Gravel is a nuisance to take care of, but if this is gonna settle a little, that's actually better. Because then if you ever did hot top it, eventually it's gonna come down. If you hot topped it right off, it would have sags where it's gonna be worked.
It will be tough. They'll bring that debris in on their sneakers into the
Yeah.
gym, but they'll just have to bring it, and you should anyway, bring a different pair of shoes to wear in the gym.
Yeah.
But eventually we would want it. It just looks better. It's easier to plow if it's
Oh, yeah,
gravel.
yeah.
We don't know the cost of the new building. And that's our next step.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
I got a question for you. This 24/7 model, who's gonna be monitoring? The people are gonna be monitoring themselves.
So we'll have cameras in there, not to watch people. I just think it's a nice security feature to
Yeah.
see who's going in and out. And he belongs to a gym that's a 24/7 gym in Governor. We stopped at one in Watertown and it's really quite handy. People like it. They just go in, there's,
There's a
It's on
couple
their end.
franchises that operate under that.
This is a-
Pace Fitness.
This is a common thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
I got like 3.
so you know who comes in by the phone app. If you're identified uniquely by your phone app. If you no longer remember, I imagine you get your number canceled.
So like,
Yeah.
you have to put your ID in, you gotta put a lot of information.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, so like, by the time you get in there, you're pretty well.
You know.
They have not only video, but they also have the data
Thank
tied to
you.
their membership,
Yeah.
of who's going in.
Well, and it's my understanding, right? The door is locked until you scan in.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
unless someone's holding the door for someone else, but then they have video of that, so.
Right.
Yeah, and there'll be people, at certain times of the day, there'll be people working there for people who wanna walk in during, or somebody wants to make an appointment, there'll be people there to show them, but
Yeah.
mainly we're
Like a
looking.
trainer.
Or if you have a guest maybe.
Oh, okay.
Or, if you wanna be a new member. So I'll be there a lot of the time, but not at one AM, right? But some people will want to go after their shift at 11.
Yeah, like you said, nurses,
Yeah.
We were working for
Maybe-
policemen.
Yeah, and they kind of like to be alone too, is that right? Instead of being in front of everybody, because I at first thought, well, you're competing with the colleges, but not really, because they're not.
They go to the college things are great for that. Yeah, the hours are tough too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
The hours are tough over here.
Yeah, especially when the students are out, they change the hours, so it's like Sundays, they're barely open and.
Oh, okay, so
Now it's summer, so it doesn't open.
you're not really competing with,
No,
Lawrence.
well, a little bit, cause the Canton, there's a bunch of local guys that go to Canton and like, they're all eager for us to get started.
Oh, really?
Just because we were all kids once, but that doesn't mean we wanna hang out with kids. So there's a lot of people that, you know, want the flexible hours, and they also, you know, don't wanna have to be around the 18-year-old that's staring at it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, even.
I've been in the SUNY Canton gym at about 6 o'clock at night and there's kids with their shirts off with chains around them. What's going on in here?
Even on Sunday, Mother's Day, you went to Canton and it's closed. You didn't even think about it being closed, so it's,
Well, that was
Frustrating.
graduation weekend.
yeah, but it's frustrating when you want to go and you can't.
Okay, so, so there is a setback issue, which we know about, and no matter what project comes in, unless it's a spaghetti factory, it wouldn't fit on this, with the setbacks from the two sides that kind of overlap, so we're trapped in a unchangeable situation. The road is straight, it can't be changed, and the river just happens to be there. And so this is what variances are made for from the zoning board of appeals. Not that we're that far yet, but so there is that issue. I'm just looking at the issues, and the other is the parking issue, but I think that also comes up as a area variance. There isn't room to put another parking spot in there to come up to the 12. That's based on the formula based on square footage, not on use. So square footage, it comes up as 12, we come at 11. So, you know, does that kill a project like that? I hate to think so, because, you know, it's, you should walk anyway. But we're not kids anymore, I know. There is a little green space on the very end toward the chain link fence, which the building could be pushed over to not have that little piece of grass. You could put your sidewalk along that edge fence there. For that, because the sidewalk would be perhaps wide enough. What I'm talking about is,
Yeah, I don't know if that was the setback. from
yeah,
the
and
property
so it
line.
was a setback.
I think it's
And-
5 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she mentions it here.
Yeah, but it's 5 feet of green and then the sidewalk, but I think the sidewalk could go right over to it and be the 5 feet. But maybe not. And if you don't need it, 5 feet doesn't change anything on that end. It's all right too.
Also includes sidewalk as
Yeah.
5 feet.
Yeah, call that the 5 feet, even though the door swings onto it, it's really the building is in, but 5 feet doesn't help anything on that end. It doesn't give you even a side parking spot or anything. The code allows you to be very close to the front sidewalk, but you have nothing to gain by moving any closer. You just have that
Do you want to
spot. I like to
stand
see
here?
it. And then the boulders. The thing is, I don't think there is any rule about whether you can plow snow into the river. I suspect you may if your snow is on the river. You can't take it from here and truck it over and dump it over, but I suspect that it is okay to plow past the boulders, push it over into the river. Yes.
That is an interesting point, is if you are plowing towards the boulders will then probably need
Be
to
right in the
be
way.
fixed into the ground.
Yep. So you don't push them into the river.
Yeah.
I would review that.
Yeah, yeah.
Before you start putting snow in the river.
I mean, either way, though, if there's supposed to be a barrier, there may be, I mean, obviously, I don't know how big, I mean, if you're talking like Adirondack giant boulders, then you'd be fine. But, if you're talking like normal boulders that you would kind of have, you still may want to fix some into the
Maybe
ground.
as big as that,
If someone does
saloon
run into
chair,
it, it doesn't go. in the
maybe.
river.
as big as a chair, would your boulders be? That chair behind
I think pretty big. I think there are some, what's that island across the way called?
Falls Island? Oh, no, Heritage.
Heritage.
I don't know what
Heritage,
they call
okay,
it, but it's
yep.
Heritage. I think there are boulders over there. I'm, in my mind, they're big,
Yeah,
not this many. This is.
No,
way too many.
that's just to do it.
I was thinking, cause Ralph's gonna be the plow guy, can't you just push the snow, and actually it's probably gonna be a snow blower because we've got gravel, or pressure.
We can push
We
it
can
here,
push
too.
it here, yeah.
Well,
That's
if
10
we get
feet
a
there.
winter like last winter, then they'll be.
Yeah.
We'll be hauling it.
Yeah.
If it's a normal winter, we'll work around, but whatever we need to do as far as, I gotta load it up, haul it out.
Yeah, that may have been the reason for the bollards in the first place, thinking those because they can be taken out for the winter. Plow through and put them back in, they're removable.
I think we
Posts.
can work around
Yeah,
it.
if you can,
I think we
that's
can.
fine, yeah.
If there was a fence there, we'd have to work around that and.
Okay, so we
But I
have
see what you mean.
setback,
Yeah.
we have the,
To be honest, those boulders probably.
one's space too small, And so then, does anybody else see anything that they want to think of as an issue for getting this to fit in the space? The dimensions, when you have it multiples of 4, are the most efficient to build the building. If you cut it down to like take off 3 feet, then everything gets more expensive because you're not multiples of your 4s for everything. So there's no point in changing the size of that building. I mean, you know what it should be, and if you squeeze it shorter and make it fatter, we're losing things the other way, and you still can't get the parking spots. So, and these are legit size spots. But those are the things I see as an issue until we look at the seeker, just to be sure that there's nothing that the seeker is going to surprise you with. And besides, you guys haven't had a chance to look at a seeker before. It'll only take 5 minutes to go through it, but then you know what it is. So that seeker is a short environmental quality review. Short being tongue in cheek, but it's the name of it. I didn't make it up, but when the state's involved, short and the state don't go together.
Actually, the S stands for state.
Does it stay?
State.
Okay.
There's an extra S at the beginning if it's the short form,
Okay.
or an F if it's the full form.
We don't want it to fall.
Nope.
So we'll look at this just to be sure, and
This
this
is
is the,
part one,
yep, this is the part that the,
applicant
yeah,
complete.
and so most of these are easy as we go down through. A little bit, the permit, we're having a permit that we're going, they're working toward. The acreage is easy enough. And it's all, I don't know what to call it, but I would. Cause it's called downtown mixed use,
That's the zoning.
yeah,
But
and
there,
so
I mean,
this, the,
I think it'd be commercial.
Yeah,
yeah.
It'd be
How do you
Commercial, I think
use-
commercial is.
Oh, yeah.
There's no residential.
It would
No,
be commercial.
yeah, and it's not industrial.
but it
Commercial
also
means-
wants to know what are adjoining or near. So
But-
it's also near residential, it's also near. They might have to
Yeah.
mark a couple of other
We leave aquatic off for sure.
options.
Unless you wanna go swimming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that would turn on a light of some sort. Oh, aquatic, well, let's see about the water. We've got enough water issues here. It's a permitted use, yes, and consistent with our comprehensive plan, indeed, to have active things in the Canton Village. Yeah, it fits
Does
into,
that mean?
does that mean? No, no.
Oh, that's me.
It's not a critical environmental area. I do not believe that we have that. Traffic, no, a dozen people won't matter. I guess we have public transportation somewhere. We have, buses around here. So yes, we have a bicycle turn right on the intersection near that. And,
This actually might be one where you'd want a bike rack up front.
yeah. Do we have that bike rack?
It's part of the site plan.
Is it, okay,
It's one of their
Yeah, what's
recommendations.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
good.
Let me see which one is it.
State Energy Code, that's up to you. Off the record, install gas before you can't, okay? Okay.
Mhm.
Public water, yes. Existing wastewater, yes. I sure hope they have one there.
Me too.
We don't think that the bowling alley is on the historic register, but we don't know about the stone building on the liquor store,
Liquors.
Stone Ender with T-111 in between, but that can't be.
Well, one thing about that district, it's not historic district.
It isn't, okay, the district isn't, yeah, good.
Yeah, once you get off of Main Street,
Mhm.
if you look at the zoning code, it's the map. DMU is not, there's nothing in it.
It's a very
No.
small strip of historic.
Is there in the DMU?
Um,
I know it stretches to the east. You get an NMU when you get down all the way to Church Street.
there, isn't it? Historic district overlay.
Yep.
Yeah.
The blue part, which does go down Riverside. It mostly just goes along the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if it counts the parcels or not.
It's like
No,
just a
it-
bowling alley.
It's not included.
Yeah, it does include the Gray's building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old bowling alley,
Sure.
but it does not include the Napa building. So it's not in the historic district, but it may still,
It's adjacent to.
that'll be something that
Adjacent.
I would talk to Anna about. She may give you a recommendation about submitting it to SHPO, which isn't a huge process. It's just something where you submit online. If she's unfamiliar with it, Lee can help you with it. She's done it and you probably have to do that anyway for your grant.
That's
I'm
right.
familiar with the term SHPO. so-
Yeah.
The state historical preservation.
Mhm. I think I was on that, last year, looking to see if we were historic. We're not, but the district you're saying might.
But-
Neighbor is.
Even if the district isn't, you might be close enough to adjacent to an area designated that you just have to submit to the organization to say, hey, we're building in this specific location. Please let us know, please confirm that it will not affect any of the surrounding sites.
Okay.
And then they send you back a letter saying, yes, we've reviewed and you're good.
Okay.
And then you put that in your file, and when the state, your funding source asks, you say, yep, they said we're good.
They can do an
That's the
archaeological
process.
dig and find some like Fram oil fillers from 1988.
Oh, right, exactly. Exactly.
So, and it is,
Oh,
it's not really controlled, the Grass River isn't really controlled by regulated by a state agency. It's not a water body controlled by a state agency. Occasionally there's,
Like St. Lawrence Seaway is, but.
yeah, but not here. And even the racket would be, but we don't, there's no dams that control, there's no, so it doesn't really. And you're not messing with any wetland or water body. And we don't have to use that trick.
oh, sorry.
Oh,
Whoop,
now
there
this
we go.
one is I guess it's shoreline and are we suburban? Shoreline and urban. It's kind of urban, it's all hot top in a way. I don't know.
Well, and that, again, these are questions that Anna will be able
Yeah,
to
she
help
would,
with.
yeah, but either one is gonna be a
Yeah,
whole project. So yes to the floodplain, as far as we know. No, you're not making any water discharge. Yeah.
Anybody wanna look a close up at the district?
Just
We're not
look
gonna
at
put
how-
any, no impoundment of water.
You can pass that around. The purple is the DMU. And the
So, yeah,
blue line is
No,
the.
no, there's been no,
Historical.
The purple, right? Historical?
No, purple is DMU.
Oh, the light, like
And then.
lavender, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is being the.
That makes more sense.
so none of those look too bad here.
Yeah.
Or bad at all, except for being in the floodplain and,
Yep.
the neighbors. And that has been historically changed anyway,
Right.
but made nicer. There's a good example. Building on the corner made nicer to be fixed up. Yeah, so you're doing the same thing. This is, gentrification sprawl, I guess, but we'll take it. We'll take what you wanna do. And then our side of it here, so it's not gonna be against zoning. It's not gonna result in intense use of land. It should improve the quality of the character. Yeah, it's not a critical environmental area. Level of traffic, no. Energy, no. No, it's not gonna impact. You're gonna use some, but the same people will be drinking water at home if they're not drinking it here. Important archaeological resources, no. Wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, no, you're being as non-invasive as possible. You're planting on top with maybe a foot of extra fill. No, about the erosion, it's not gonna be, you're gonna be leveling it out. And it's not environmental resources or human health. It's supposed to be improving human health.
Yeah.
And then
Then they answer,
No.
they do a narrative for
Yeah.
anything that they
Something that
mark
was,
as.
was troublesome.
Big one.
And then this is as, on top of everything else, this is a strange form in that it's good if there's nothing on it. If there's any, a negative declaration, they call it. So if you can prove the null, then okay. And we've proved that theoretically prove the null that you can't, none of these are there. If you have something to say, then there's trouble. You have nothing, that's good. So I don't see any issues. Now, the ZBA, zoning board, is the entity within all of our government boards that decides who is the lead agency. And so they could be that, or they could turn it over to whoever wants to be. Village board could take it.
Village board is the lead age, or does the
There's a
design.
but in this, it says ZBA, isn't that amazing? In 146, section 146, there's another one that we
The
use.
village board does it,
They're gonna take it.
and if, here,
If they wanna do it,
we do it.
okay.
Yeah.
And the
I
village
just
board
know
will
that's
take
the
over.
process.
They're gonna do it. Okay, then they've already said ZBA is gonna appoint us. I don't care. And it won't matter to you who it is, who's the lead agency. They will see it the same. It's all the facts. They can't help it. So does anybody see anything that they would feel comfortable to change or suggest be different, other than the level of grading is the one thing we've mentioned so far? Meaning to grade it at 349 or 348.
348
348.
with DEC.
This is essentially above sea level, is what we're talking.
You're not gonna require any power upgrades or anything, just step in the current.
No, I don't think so. I think the power is right there. I don't think there's anything that will,
The only conforming part of it, because of our grant, is if you're over 5,000 square feet, you have to be green energy compliant.
Sure, 4,000.
Building is 4,000. And so there's a bit of a debate, does the mezzanine create an additional square footage? And our feeling is, it's open, right? It's a mezzanine. We're gonna condition that airspace. Why does that make it bigger than 4,000? Does it?
No, I can't see that.
Well, if you meet the energy codes, you're gonna be.
Yeah, but,
Basically, the square footage calculations would change if you had to count the mezzanine area in the second level, is what you're saying.
Right.
And it would put you over.
That.
yeah, the area
You
of
want
the
to be
building
under
that's there.
Right,
yeah.
Is where
1,500 square feet of mezzanine instead of 1,000, that would be the thing. So I don't know, but I would argue that you don't have to put in the mezzanine. Leave it out. And then you have the building that's 4,000 square feet.
Or
Also,
make
it's the
the
same, it's the same volume, the same volume of building.
Yes, basically mostly just do most of it on this side where the view is better. And then just have a, small area with like a railing over there where it's just up
Mhm.
there with all the cardio stuff. We're
Mhm.
looking out there that way. It's like a kind of thing, when it was like this,
It was,
yeah,
well, it was it was along the street side.
okay.
And we're still evolving on the plan, but the plan would be your backs to the street, you're looking out toward the river. And I don't know why we put it on the street side, sometimes you just get that in your head. So then you're looking over the people.
well, the original.
Yeah, if you need two sets of windows, then.
Well, the original was gonna go with the, sort of single slope,
Yeah.
but the contractor said it would be much nicer looking building if
Yeah, he doesn't, yeah.
he didn't think the single slope, cause you'd have to be so high in the front.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he said if you put like a hip roof, and so we can actually alter the interior now, it's gonna be a conventional building rather than the single slope.
Were you gonna do originally like floor to ceiling windows? Was that your, okay, all right.
No.
So you're-
We don't want anybody falling out back when they're in the mezzanine, right?
Mhm.
Downstairs will have probably higher windows than what's on this. It's not 2 stories, but
Yeah.
there's a mezzanine with windows.
It's up to your grant people, but I'm guessing footprint, square footage is what they're talking.
Thing, so.
Yeah, argue that.
So I would just, get clarification, you don't wanna start building this out, get all this money in architecture and be like, oh, now you gotta change to be compliant with the energy stuff, which is gonna be in.
We agree. Well, what we could do two is just shrink that mezzanine, like. make it
Yeah.
Shorter, and then stay at 5,000 feet, 4,999.
Yes.
That's what we'll do. So, we're good, we're gonna do gas, we hope.
Because you,
When does
because it
that
has
change?
nothing,
Is it,
well, so that already went into effect and then they had to stop and
Yeah.
renege because
okay,
they couldn't provide enough electricity or capacity. And so,
The
yeah,
heat pump for that size building,
brutal,
yeah.
yeah. And so, I mean, the great big project going over here, 60 units and all kinds of other development stuff.
That's all
All
electric,
electric, yeah, at least was the plan last I knew. But the gas main isn't far, so if you possibly can, this is the time to take.
that's the going plan, is to try and put radiant in the whole thing with gas, and then if we had to have some heat pump, then it would be,
Get a backup.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just put up one on negative, when it's like negative 30 degrees.
Yeah.
That's, that was great, that one.
absolutely.
We're gonna be generating a lot of cloud heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That's right. So, and there's, what was one other condition? We had some concern.
Read that. Remember that we were talking about in the office?
Oh, which things? About the impervious surface? No, we're okay for that one.
Oh, no.
That's why.
B.
Structures, water dependent, water related? No, oh, okay. But that's about being water related. So if this was a boatyard or something, you needed to be using the water, you could be closer than the 50 feet. We got the 30-foot setback here, which only crosses the corner of the building. If I see it, the 30-foot is a dotted line from the water. And so this,
But the standing kayak operation, then.
There you go.
you'd be able to be over.
Waterfront overlay is asking for 50.
Right, it's asking for 50, so, and that's way, I mean, it's practically the whole way across. 50 feet is too much, they can't possibly do that, but nothing could. You know, so that's the thing, we just have to,
What was Napa at before?
well, so,
Well,
Like 5 feet.
I have
Yeah.
figures,
Yeah.
and it
Oh,
did
it shows it right here.
So where it currently is about 1,400 square feet,
This is as is right here.
Mhm.
That's real.
and we're going
Yeah,
down to
so-
113 square feet.
Matter of fact, the next one it shows it
Further
away.
away, yeah.
You get a better feel.
Yeah, so it's actually even further away than.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, so it's like, it's an improvement, like.
it is,
Yeah.
it's an improvement.
That's the point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's less of an ask.
Yeah.
Of course, that was built before any idea of zoning. They just put up what they could. It was a Ford garage in the 1940s. That's how that started. And the fact that they didn't find any oil dumped in the ground anywhere.
I was wondering about.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. So and ATL did it, Atlantic Testing, so it's not the architect. Labella can do it too, but they came and did it. And so they found the silt down to 6 feet and then, but the soil was clean.
Right, we had two assessments done, ATL did the first, and the company on Plattsburgh did the second.
Okay,
But yes, ATL did the soil borings in April, but the second assessment was clear for,
petroleum.
contaminants.
Yeah, that's the big look. That's where you really came through smooth on that one. Because it has all the potential of,
And the building itself is a block building, there's no heating system in it. So there's no asbestos pipes or anything, there could be some lead paint. There's virtually no insulation in the whole building, so. And the only tiles in the Napa store are full 12-inch, so they're not the old.
the old ones, yeah, that's
It
good.
looks far as the initial assessment by ATL, they said there's possible everything, but
Yeah.
nothing not probable.
Yeah, but, yeah, and we also know the roof is no good. That would cost you $500,000 to fix, just that roof. It's all a built up roof.
So on the Napa section, when the engineers went up, they were roof trusses, right, that they had welded in the 60s incorrectly. They were
Well,
reused, and there's no fixing that.
Yeah, they were brave to go up there, actually, I think that was the thing. There was another condition we talked about. See, I'm gun shy on forgetting to put one in, Tim and I. It's when the contractor is actually working there, he needs a permit to have his machines on the floodplain. But it's the contractor who has to know that.
You may need a floodplain permit, depending on.
That floodplain assessment or whatever, floodplain
We'll see
will
we'll
list
see what
that.
Floodplain survey.
Tell you what has to be, but they need to get that permit for themselves.
If it's deemed in the floodplain.
Right,
Yeah, we'll see, you know,
So we'll do the floodplain survey. If it reveals, yes, we need a floodplain permit.
right,
yes.
And if.
For
it's
the
not
excavators, yeah.
floodplain, we're good.
yes.
Well, actually, the DEC coordinator was advising me, he only can advise me. He was saying that he suspects there's gonna be, heavy equipment in here. And he was thinking that would trigger a floodplain permit, but once you get the survey and know exactly where it is, then we'll take it from there. I'm not gonna say it's a requirement now, it's just kind of like what could come to pass.
So, yes, be forewarned,
Yeah.
because this is New York State.
So-
Anything can sneak up out of the government to
Especially
bite
since
you.
it's this small.
Yep.
I send, when I have projects like this so close to the water, I'll send it to the coordinator to get a second look at it, see if I miss anything. But this individual does not make good decisions. It comes down, here's what I see.
Mhm.
And,
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
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 We did go to the county planning board and they did an NOA and said some things they recommended, which I think we have
We've already done,
dealt with.
they said, go get a variance first, but the variance people said, variance for what? Too bad. So, waited. So that's gonna happen. But yes, but the county, other than that, was happy with it and they signed off. They don't care about anything else that you do. They say it's not intermunicipal. However, they forgot that on the water counts as the county being involved. So don't tell them.
No, they know that.
Do they know that?
No,
And she
absolutely.
didn't care?
No,
No,
it
okay.
wasn't, it was that the county felt like this was a good project.
Oh, yes, yep.
I have to look at my notes or call that out, but it's not like they didn't care, but they felt like it could be handled by
By us, yep.
the,
Local, they sign off, they give advice to the local and then the local can do what they want. If we have a super majority, we can counteract it, but there's no reason to.
Officially, they deemed it not to have countywide or intermunicipal significance. Not that because it's on the water, but the specific project does not have countywide or intermunicipal significance. So they've looked at it per the requirements. They did give some comments for consideration, which you've already looked at, and you can make a decision with simple majority.
Yes, because they didn't have any real things, but if you look in the list of what has to be referred to the county,
Yes,
then the waterfront is part of it as well.
yes, so and that's why they looked it over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we always go to the county anyway, we
Yeah,
don't
it's
not
good.
do it, they're professionals, and we aren't, so, that's a good thing
If it
too.
borders,
Yep.
the river.
Yeah, so at this point, I would entertain a motion that has only the conditions that we have no control over, which that you obtain an area variance. For that in this project and that, we can't see that moving it or changing it or anything could do anything better. I mean, I don't know how to, basically, to approve it as, presented. And then knowing that you have to go on to the next steps. But for us, the best we can do.
Yeah, because really it's out of our. And
Our
we do,
purview, yeah.
out of our purview for what you do with the mezzanine and stuff, it's all inside that footprint, so it's really nothing to do with this body, just.
So you care about the outside, but the footprint is, and then inside is whatever we do.
That's right, yeah. So then that becomes building codes, uniform building code and that kind of thing, but it's, then which it has to do, has to be. And, so yeah, I don't know, somebody can make a motion or you can change a motion. Jane's gonna add something.
I just wanted to comment that I believe, and you might be able to do this part by email, I can confirm that. But I believe if I'm understanding code correctly, that the official motion to approve can't be made until it comes back from the variance.
Okay.
Then, because you have to know their decision first.
Yeah.
And then you can entertain the motion and make the official decision. So, but you can certainly determine what you want your decision to be based on your discussion, and then your next meeting, or if you can do it by email, and I can check on that if you want me to, can be very quick.
Mhm. To do it if they, because they will have
But it-
approved it by then, if they were
Right.
going to.
But it has to
We need
be,
to approve it withheld in abeyance until the variances come back.
Yep, then that
Would
would
this be
be,
a referral to the ZBA?
it is a referral to the
Referral, so
So that would
ZBA.
be in the action,
Yes,
on the action sheet.
yes.
Mhm.
Also on the action sheet would be a referral to the Board of Trustees for the seeker at this point, or?
I believe that goes on there as well. I have to look at it, but yes, I think so.
because otherwise they won't know to start. Oh, that's an important part.
Once we have the actual.
Their meeting is
form,
next
but
week.
yeah. Yes, their meeting is next
Now, keep
Wednesday,
in mind, the mayor is out of town till Friday.
right,
Um,
but he can be reached, is my understanding. So we will
Okay,
figure that out.
Okay, that won't hurt us. So I guess then that's the best we can do, is to make that motion to promote, to move it along.
Or you can vote in private.
Yeah, no, they're all by consensus in the end. It's not a, if somebody disagreed, we keep working on it till everybody agrees. That's how it seems to work here. Thereabouts.
I'll make the motion to approve with the conditions that the variances are sought and approved. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
I'll second that.
good. Great.
So I don't think we'd even need, if we prove that, then we don't have to wait to do another vote because we've added that condition in there.
Right, yep. And so that unless they make it be changed, ZBA, we would take this and say, yes, we'd approve it in the end.
I will check on that. I think we had a problem doing it that way previously. I totally,
We wanna hold.
right,
don't want to slap, that's
absolutely,
right.
absolutely, and I agree with the principle.
I brought my Robert's Rules of Order though, so.
No worries. I just wanna check on it because I know we ran into an issue with that in a previous meeting where
Okay.
we did something similar. And then we had to kind of backtrack a little bit. It didn't end up holding anything up, but we did have to backtrack. So I'll double check on that, but for now, that goes in the minutes and we will record as that's the situation. If we have to make any changes, then we'll adjust. Okay?
This way, the zoning board of appeals knows what they're voting on. That's the
Right.
real key. Yep, I would say. That's
That's the importance of this, so it gives the ZBA more intel
Information.
to make a better informed decision.
Now, on the seeker, if I can get this correct. That was it looked like a short form that we first reviewed, but part one that I filled out is a long form. So which one am I filling out?
So the short form would be adequate unless there was more going on. If there's a piece of wetland or something, then you'd have to have the long form, most likely.
Ah.
But the long form won't be bad either. I mean,
Top of page 1.
yeah.
And then
So then I can have that. So I thought if it was the long form, I wasn't
We
sure if
did.
I could have it done by the 20th, but if it's the short form, I can.
Oh, yes.
Talk to Anna.
Yep, she
I
will
did,
have,
yeah.
and they have it very often right in their computer with thick
Yeah.
fillable.
She's
Yeah.
thinking I have to fill out the long form, maybe based on your email today.
Yeah, if you look at what the DEC information I sent you, just review that some more and confer with Anna exactly what you should do.
Okay,
We can't really tell you what to do.
but you're right, I do get that.
Yeah.
All right, so.
But I
will
think it's-
research that.
When it comes down to it, it's the long one.
Hmm.
It's part one, right?
Yeah,
Part one is the long form, but that is not what we
that's
saw.
right. That was the short
This is the
version.
short form
Yeah.
that I brought up.
Short.
And why
Why did you bring up the shirt? just
I
as an
thought that would be
example.
enough.
That was the one that you linked to in your email, I
I
thought.
didn't. Sorry about.
That's okay.
But we don't have time for long form. It's just more of the same, I would guess, that's a weird thing.
I think so long. Does the short form indicate, floodplain survey? I don't think it does.
It's my understanding that the long form is only required when it's a type. There are 3 types of actions, type 1, type 2, type 3. It's my understanding that the long form is only required for a type 2 that is significantly complex, or a type 3. I might have that backwards. It might be a type 1 that's the most complex, and the 3 that's the least. I might have them backwards in my head. I'm not a seeker expert, but it's one direction or the other. And the long form is required for the major ones, the short form when it's the smaller projects.
I
So
interpret this, oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, so it's just a question of what type of action your project will be.
I think this is a type 1 action because it's, I forget the term, but there's general, industry or general commerce or something like that. There's also a not classified section too
Like an
of things that don't
unlisted,
count.
so.
Oh,
so
that's,
I'm trying to-
yeah, okay, yeah.
So we weren't
I'm trying to
unlisted.
remember.
So I do think it's the one, when I was researching that today, this is a type 1.
So it's
based
not
on the
type
list.
3, it's unlisted that I was thinking
Yeah.
of. That's why
But-
my brain didn't.
But even
wanna
type 3 could be
remember
very
the
hard.
right.
That could be the tough one that needs.
I think it's
but-
type 1, type 2, and unlisted.
Yeah,
Those are the numbers. And type
Okay.
1 is the complex. Type 2 is the simple. And then there's the unlisted.
So initially Anna said she filled out the seeker for short form. When I talked to her today, she said, oh, it looks like we have to do long form, and it might be based on
The email?
and my interpretation of your email.
Okay.
Let me get back to that email.
yeah, okay, so,
But regardless,
Yep,
we'll figure
we-
this out, which one we
right,
need to
Yeah.
fill out, and we'll have it.
yeah. Yeah, because I'll see where my list is for what makes this a type 1, but it's on the computer and not in my book.
Oh, I see what I did. I just pulled up the first one. Okay.
Yeah. So we have the motion, we have a second,
Yep.
we have a vote. Okay, and I don't even have to break a tie. So this moves on to zoning board of appeals and see what they do for their variance and for both parking and for area or setbacks. Those are the things.
And so I'll be notified when that meeting is, because we want.
Yes, we know it's June 11th.
June 11th.
But that's back channel that we know that. So we have an action form that we fill out.
Yep.
And then now Conrad says that the applicant should apply to ZBA, but you do that through Tim anyway. So we essentially do the same thing for that, but I think he wants it. Conrad's the chair of that, and he says, oh, we don't just move it on, they have to move it on. So you're the they who moves it on,
Yes.
Technically, I haven't denied anything.
right?
But I think I did fill out a form.
You
for the
did
appeal.
fill out, you filled out a permit application.
Yeah,
I did not deny it because it was going to be conceptual review.
yes.
So I was gonna see what the conceptual review garnered, like. Actually, I've never been in this position before where.
It went right straight to a real meeting.
It went right to site plan review before, which is not unusual.
But I can get with you and fill out what I need
Yeah,
to.
there's just it's just a simple form, but our tracking form goes on. That's what Jenny was saying, gonna send it to you after, remember to turn it on, turn it
I
back.
guess through this meeting, maybe we can determine how to deny it and how to refer it. Or maybe it's just gonna get
It just
referred.
gets referred as our
It's
motion.
a straight
Yeah, but then
referral.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you don't have to
really
do anything,
involved
no.
until maybe it would be like resubmitting a building permit.
Okay.
Because that building permit application is just sitting in the folder right now, not
Mhm.
doing anything.
And it might have been your early plans too, when it was the 2 stories up here and it worked its way down to the single story, I don't know.
Well, that's true, we have done that, but I think the one you're talking about was the one I just submitted about a
Yeah.
week ago.
Exactly.
Which sent me to the county planning, which then sent me here,
Okay.
Right.
so that's the one.
So that's the one that's, yeah, I was just looking at that today. It just says demolish existing buildings and build a single story
Yes,
building.
Okay.
With that being said, you probably have to do 2 permits. You have to do a demolition permit
oh,
and
okay.
a building permit.
Okay,
So
Okay,
the demolition permit, I'm gonna have to review, like, make sure asbestos survey and all that stuff is done. So that's why those are separate.
that's easy.
I mean, smaller projects, they kind of roll them together and it's not like super critical, but in this situation, there's a lot of critical.
And they might be different timeframes too. Maybe demo happens in January and construction begins in April.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
could you do it this season? If you got your approvals, would you be interested in doing it before winter?
That would
This
be
year.
lovely.
It'd be lovely, but whether you can find people to do it at this
Yeah.
point.
Do you mean the construction part? Yeah,
And even
everybody's got
the
their.
site preparation.
Mhm.
Good, okay, so we have no other items on the agenda?
You do not.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, unless there's something else to do.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor, say aye. Fantastic.
Well,
Okay,
thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sure thing.
For your investment in our community.
yes, that's important too.
For the record, in that email, I think
Yeah.
there's all kinds of forms that were, there's the short form, there's the long form.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I went.
there's a lot of,
Oh,
cause when I went there, I'm like, I'm just sending this so you can have I didn't
It
tell.
was
you.
not directive, it was just like, here's all the different.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was not
Everything.
directive, thank you. I was just like, this is.
So then I just have to settle down, look at it. It's probably the short form.
Well, if you have, I would do it on an advisory.
Yeah, she said long, but I'd rather do short.
I think, cause if you,
I just would raise things other than what we just did there. It seems like a pretty straightforward project.
I would stick with the professional advice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good.
But I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last night, so.
What's that?
At the Holiday Inn Express last night, so I'm pretty much this.
I remember those.
So you're already in the express lane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can adjourn.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
would-
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Good luck with all this.
Thank you. You'll see some progress,
Yeah.
hopefully soon.
You want some child labor, I've got a couple of young boys who are looking back.
It's the demolition part.
9 and 7, so they get in those little small spots.
I'm sorry, that's a little.
Once you pay them, if they go there and volunteer.
I'll be stopping in.
Um,
Okay, thank you.
well, I can touch base with you if you have any questions
Okay.
on anything. We can go over some stuff. And there's I'm gonna follow up on a couple of things and I'll touch base with you.
I'll stop in.
Okay, yep, sounds great.
Thank you.